Hey, Blue Demons, Courtney here from the Office of Student Involvement. Welcome to this week's episode of our Back to Campus Vodcast. We're excited to share with you some updates for this week as we continue to pivot back to on-campus operations. So as we do for all of our vodcasts, we're going to start off with a couple of announcements with things going on. First is, hopefully you've heard by now, beginning April 19th, all Chicagoans age 16 and older were now eligible to receive the vaccine in the city of Chicago. So if you previously didn't qualify for any of the phase 1 vaccinations, you are now eligible. So we hope that you take the opportunity to get signed up, particularly given that DePaul has recently announced the requirement for vaccines for on-campus classes in the fall. Also, we're excited to share that this week on Thursday, May 6th, DePaul University is partnering with the city of Chicago for DePaul University Vaccination Day. So at a number of different vaccine sites around the city, you can walk in and get your vaccine and get started. You can do your first dose, second dose, or if you choose to do the Johnson & Johnson with the one vaccine, you can get signed up for that as well. Then, as always, just wanted to provide some updates regarding different regulations around campus. We know last week Mayor Lightfoot announced some of the Reopen Chicago plans. We're currently here at DePaul working through what that means for our on-campus gatherings. So we're hoping in the weeks to come to have some updates and announcements for you all as well. But for the time being, these are the current phases and current guidelines that we're working with. So Illinois continues to be in phase 4 of the Restore Illinois plan, which means that all on and off-campus student organization gatherings do require approval. You can just go to dhub.depaul.edu and go into your organization portal and click events and get your event registered that way. Gatherings are still limited to 50% room capacity and no more than 50 people. And just as a reminder, we're still encouraging everyone to social distance when you are in those different spaces. And then still for off-campus events, we are not allowing off-campus or overnight travel. And student organizations are still limited to the immediate counties surrounding Cook County. Then our room capacities remain the same. If you want to grab a screenshot of this as you're planning end of the year activities and celebrations, just wanted to make sure that you have all of these numbers and statistics so that you can plan accordingly for whichever venue you might be looking for. So with that, I am excited to bring in this week's guest, my t-shirt twin for the day here, right? Tanisha Arnold. So Tanisha, thanks so much for joining me.
Woo! I'm ready. Yeah. I got my pom-pom.
All right. As always, it's a permanent fixture. If you ever watch the Wake Up with OSI sessions that we do on Monday mornings, Tanisha and Sarah always have the pom-poms ready.
Every Monday.
Yeah. So I asked Tanisha to join us this week to talk a little bit about end of the year celebrations and graduation festivities, not the formal activities that we've got planned on campus, but specifically for some of our student orgs who might be looking to plan recognition events or other end of the year celebrations. We're starting to see an influx in student involvement about offices or about groups that are asking us about how they can plan events on campus. So just ask Tanisha to join me to talk a little bit more about that. So Tanisha, I'll turn the mic over to you here.
Sure. Thanks for letting me come join you at the Back to Campus Vodcast. I actually mentioned this morning, I said I'm going to be hanging out with Courtney in the Back to Campus Vodcast today. So hopefully the viewers from this morning saw that and came over to hang out with us. But yes, also mentioned this morning was that we're in the last few weeks of the quarter, and our student organization community, they are steering towards putting together those end of year celebrations. And so I think that can look a number of different ways to whether it's maybe it's some type of gathering out on the quad or in the student centers, or, maybe it's a virtual banquet of some sorts, or an internal award ceremony, or what have you. But I think there's a number of different ways that our student organizations can celebrate the end of the year as well as their graduating student members. Also keep in mind that different departments across campus are putting together their end of the year graduation celebrations, specifically when you think about our culturally based communities and the different celebrations that will be happening. And those will be happening, towards the end of May, going into early June for the different respective communities. But just wanted to, to remind all of our students out there that there is still time to sign up and participate in the on-campus commencement activities that the university is planning. But just make sure that you register soon because you need to do that, I think, at least 10 days in advance. So that you can hold your spot to participate in those on-campus festivities. I've been hearing a lot of positive things about what is being put together, not only from the university, but just aside from that, student organizations and departments who are trying to put together some things to celebrate our students.
Yeah, well, and I think, Tanisha, that number that you talk about, 10, that's a really good number to keep in mind right now. If you're a student org and you're looking to do an end of the year celebration or a meeting, anything, you have to do that about 10 days in advance. We're talking about 10 days, and we're quickly approaching that 10-day mark until the graduation festivities here on campus as well. So that's a good number to keep in mind. But I think one of the other things that you mentioned and alluded to for student orgs to know, if you do have, hooding ceremonies, if you give out stoles, if you have a cord ceremony, if you know that you have students in the Chicagoland area, you don't have to host that from your room or from your home. You can come onto campus, you can invite people who are local to join that way. And then you can utilize the technology that a building like the Student Center has so that you can also continue to engage people remotely, right? And what you'll do instead of having, rounds with 10 people at them, maybe you'll have rounds with 1 or 2 people, or you can set up bistro tables, which are small 2-foot round tables, basically, that individual people can sit at. And you can still have them, come up, get their stole, get their cords, get a certificate, whatever that might be. And you can live stream it via Zoom as well. I think, we're starting to see more and more organizations that are trying to utilize this technology for those types of activities. So for our org community in particular, I think it's important for you to know it's there and it's ready for you. We at DePaul have been working really hard to make sure that we have enough and appropriate equipment for some of these hybrid experiences, and it's here. And if you want to utilize it, you are welcome to do so.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see what student organizations will do in the coming weeks. I've heard some things here and there about what some groups are working to plan for their student organization members. And of course, I look at D-Hub all the time, so I can get a preview of what some of the things are going to be. But I've heard people talk about having those. Whether it's a virtual or in-person gathering for their members, or doing like a distribution pickup, from the student center. I know that, one of the student groups that I support, they're talking about like, oh, how do we, work to put together some graduation kits? And we have our members come by the, student center to pick those up. And then the ones that are unable to come, we can, put those in the mail and get them to their home. So yeah, I think there's a lot of different options of how student organizations can celebrate their graduating members, as well as just celebrate the end of the school year. And I know that a number of people at DePaul are happy to help support those students through those planning efforts.
Yeah. Well, Tanisha, as always, it's so great to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. For our student org leaders and community, if you're watching, if there's anything that we can do in student involvement to help you, feel free to reach out. Our email is involvement@depaul.edu. Just shoot us a message and we can help you design an event and help you walk through some of the lessons that we've learned from planning these events. But Tanisha, any final thoughts, things to share before you head out?
I don't think so. I think you've covered it about it. Catch me next time. Catch me next week. Wake up with OSI at 10 o'clock.
Oh, great. Well, thanks again for joining us today, Tanisha.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the invitation.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So as we wrap up today's podcast, just a couple final reminders for folks who might be tuning in. As you may know, we're continuing on-campus events and activities throughout spring quarter. So this week we've got comic creations with Will Silney, who is a Marvel comic artist. So that event's actually going to be hybrid. So we're doing it tonight in the Lincoln Park Student Center, or you can experience it online in the DAB events link as well. Also this week on Wednesday, we've got DePaul After Dark with Glow Bingo. So you can check that out in 120AB, which is the main room on the first floor of the Lincoln Park Student Center. Then Tanisha talked a little bit about it, but as a reminder, if you are a member of the class of 2021, you can get registered for the graduation celebration by visiting commencement.depaul.edu. They've got things like this stage planned, a lot of different photo opportunities and different things set up. So be sure to check that out if you're graduating and in the area. And then finally, we continue to update our Campus Life website, which is go.depaul.edu/campuslife, with updates on rules, regulations, and everything regarding your back to campus experience. So if you're ever not sure where to visit or where to go, you can head over there and find the most up-to-date rules and regulations for on-campus gatherings. But until next week, we hope everyone stays safe. And if there's anything that we can be doing to support you, feel free to let us know. But we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye, Blue Demons.